Have you ever felt like reality is shifting around you? You wake up one morning and something feels off. The world looks the same, yet there's a strange unfamiliarity lingering in the air. Small details don't match your memory. Colors seem different. People behave strangely. And even your past feels altered in subtle yet undeniable ways. Is this just a trick of the mind? Or have you unknowingly stepped into another version of reality? Philosophers, mystics, and scientists have long questioned the nature of existence. What if the world we see is not the absolute truth, but merely a projection, a fragment, a layer of something far greater? What if reality, as we know it, is nothing more than a shifting illusion, a construct shaped by perception, belief, and unseen forces beyond human comprehension? Over 2,000 years ago, Plato, one of the greatest philosophers in history, presented an idea that still shakes the foundations of reality. In his famous Allegory of the Cave, he described prisoners chained in a dark cavern, facing a blank wall. Behind them, a fire cast shadows of moving figures, and for their entire lives, these prisoners mistake the shadows for reality itself. They do not know that beyond the cave lies an infinite world of colors, textures, and possibilities. Now consider this. What if you are one of those prisoners? What if everything you know, your senses, your memories, your experiences, are just flickering shadows on the wall? Plato's cave suggests that we are not perceiving true reality, but only a distorted reflection of something far greater. And if that's the case, then how do we escape the illusion? Plato was not alone in his suspicion of reality. Eastern mystics, Sufi poets, Hindu sages, and Zen masters have long claimed that existence is not solid, but fluid, an ever-changing dream shaped by the mind. Hinduism's Maya. The ancient Vedic texts describe Maya, the grand illusion that veils true reality. The world we see, according to the Upanishads, is like a mirage, a temporary, deceptive construct. Only those who awaken from Maya can see the world as it truly is. Buddhist impermanence. The Buddha taught that everything is transient, constantly changing, and that attachment to a fixed reality causes suffering. In his philosophy, even time itself is an illusion, merely a construct of the mind. Sufi mysticism and Rumi's dream. The Sufi mystic Rumi once wrote, "This place is a dream. Only a sleeper considers it real. Then death comes like dawn, and you wake up laughing at what you thought was your grief." Could it be that we are all just dreamers lost in layers of illusions? But this is not just spiritual poetry. Modern science is beginning to confirm what ancient mystics have long understood. What if we are not living in a single, fixed reality, but rather a sea of infinite possibilities? Scientists in quantum physics are now uncovering that the universe may be far stranger than we ever imagined. Quantum superposition. At a subatomic level, particles exist in multiple states simultaneously. This means that reality itself is not fixed. It is a probability wave, constantly shifting based on observation. The many worlds interpretation, physicist Hugh Everett III, proposed that every decision splits the universe into different timelines, creating infinite parallel versions of reality. The simulation hypothesis. Leading minds like Nick Bostrom and Elon Musk argue that we may be living in a highly advanced simulation, where reality is nothing more than programmed code, an illusion we cannot see beyond. If these theories hold truth, then the reality we experience is not singular, but one among countless possibilities, a constantly shifting mirage shaped by consciousness. So now the question remains, if reality is an illusion, then what is beyond it? If your life, your choices, and even your very identity are part of a shifting simulation, a multiversal maze, or a dreamlike projection, then who are you really? More importantly, if reality is fluid, can you change it? Can you step beyond the illusion and access something greater? This is what we will uncover. We will journey through scientific breakthroughs, ancient wisdom, and hidden knowledge to explore the true nature of existence. And by the end of this journey, you may never see reality the same way again. Prepare to enter the deepest mysteries of quantum physics, where matter defies logic, time folds upon itself, and parallel realities may be more than just theory. Are there infinite versions of you existing right now? Stay tuned as we dive into the strangest, most profound discoveries in science and philosophy. Quantum physics and the many worlds. Have you ever made a decision and wondered what would have happened if you had chosen differently? What if, at the exact moment you picked one path, another version of you took the opposite route? What if, right now, infinite versions of you are living out every possible outcome of your life, somewhere beyond your perception? For centuries, humans believed in a singular, concrete reality, a world governed by fixed rules. But modern physics is shattering this illusion. Quantum mechanics suggests that reality is not just fluid, it is fractured, layered, and infinite. Scientists are now seriously considering the idea that we do not live in a single universe, but rather an infinite multiverse where every possibility exists simultaneously. But what does this mean for you? If infinite realities exist, then who are you really? And more importantly, can you learn to shift between these realities? In 1957, physicist Hugh Everett III proposed a theory so radical that even Einstein himself hesitated to accept it. Everett's many worlds interpretation suggests that every decision creates a new timeline, splitting reality into infinite possibilities. Imagine flipping a coin. In one universe, it lands on heads. In another, it lands on tails. But here's where it gets strange. Both outcomes happen simultaneously, each in its own parallel reality. Now apply this to your life. What if, in another reality, you pursued a dream you abandoned? What if another version of you took a risk that you avoided? What if there is a version of you that made every decision you regret not making? The many worlds interpretation suggests that all these versions of you exist. Right now, you just can't see them. But is it possible that your consciousness is already interacting with them? Quantum mechanics is perhaps the strangest branch of science, one that defies logic and bends reality itself. One of its core principles is superposition, the idea that particles can exist in multiple states at once until observed. Take the famous Schrödinger's cat experiment. Imagine a cat inside a box with a quantum device that has a 50% chance of killing it. According to quantum physics, until you open the box, the cat is both dead and alive at the same time. The moment you look inside, reality collapses into one version. Either the cat is alive or it is dead. Now think about what this means for you. If at the quantum level, particles exist in multiple states simultaneously, then could your reality work the same way? Could your consciousness be shifting between different versions of yourself without you realizing it? Einstein once called it spooky action at a distance. Quantum entanglement is the phenomenon where two particles, even if separated by vast distances, are mysteriously connected. Changing the state of one instantly affects the other, no matter how far apart they are. Now apply this to parallel realities. If your consciousness is quantum in nature, could it be entangled with your other selves in different universes? Could the choices and emotions of another version of you subtly affect your reality? Could déjà vu, unexplained instincts, or sudden insights be memories bleeding through from another version of you? This opens up the mind-blowing possibility that not only do infinite versions of you exist, but they might interact with and influence each other in ways science is only beginning to understand. We experience time as a straight line, past, present, future. But what if this is an illusion? What if all of time exists simultaneously, and our perception is just tuning into one part of it? Some quantum experiments suggest that time does not flow. It is simply a construct of our minds. Einstein's theory of relativity proved that time is relative, meaning it can stretch, shrink, and even stop under certain conditions. The block universe theory suggests that past, present, and future all exist at once, like frames in a movie reel. We only experience one frame at a time because our consciousness is tuned to it. Could it be that memories of past lives or glimpses of the future are just our consciousness slipping into another part of the timeline? If time is not what we think it is, then the idea of parallel realities suddenly becomes not just possible, but inevitable. This is not just theory. Experiments are beginning to suggest that parallel realities might be real. The delayed choice experiment. Physicists found that a particle's behavior changes retroactively, meaning the present can affect the past. This implies that multiple versions of the past may exist simultaneously. The double-slit experiment. When unobserved, particles behave as waves, existing in multiple locations at once. But when observed, they choose one path. This suggests that reality is fluid and only becomes fixed when we observe it. Neuroscience and split-brain patients. Studies on people with severed brain hemispheres reveal that each half of the brain can have different, separate perceptions of reality, suggesting that multiple versions of you may already exist within your own mind. If these experiments suggest that reality is fluid, then the next question is, can we influence which version of reality we experience? If quantum mechanics proves that multiple realities exist, then is it possible to consciously move between them? Could practices like meditation, visualization, or lucid dreaming allow us to tune in to alternate versions of ourselves? Some physicists suggest that our thoughts and beliefs shape the reality we experience, not metaphorically, but literally. If true, then mastering the mind might be the key to choosing your timeline. This is what we will explore in the next chapter. Ancient wisdom on parallel realities. We will see how ancient traditions, from Hinduism to Buddhism to Kabbalah, have long known what science is only now beginning to uncover. Did ancient mystics already understand the nature of parallel realities? Ancient wisdom on parallel realities. Have you ever had a dream so vivid that it felt more real than waking life? A dream where you existed in a world that wasn't quite your own, where people seemed familiar but different, and events unfolded as if you were living an alternate version of your life? What if that wasn't just a dream, but a glimpse into another reality? For centuries, modern science has been struggling to catch up with something that ancient spiritual traditions have long understood. Reality is not singular, but layered, fluid, and multidimensional. Hindu sages, Buddhist monks, Kabbalistic mystics, and Gnostic philosophers all spoke of multiple planes of existence, hidden realms intertwined with our own. They believed that through deep meditation, lucid dreaming, and expanded states of consciousness, we could access these parallel dimensions. But were they simply speaking in metaphor? Or did they possess knowledge that modern physics is only now beginning to uncover? In Hindu philosophy, reality is not one-dimensional. It is structured like an infinite cosmic web. The Vedas and Upanishads, ancient texts dating back over 5,000 years, describe the lokas, multiple realms of existence, each vibrating at a different frequency. Bhurloka, the physical world we inhabit. Bhuvarloka, the realm of dreams and spirits. Svarloka, a higher astral plane where enlightened beings reside. Tapaloka and Satyaloka, realms of ultimate consciousness beyond physical form. These texts describe reality not as a single, fixed plane, but as an interconnected multiverse. Just as quantum physics now suggests multiple parallel worlds, Hinduism has always taught that consciousness can shift between these dimensions. The Bhagavad Gita, one of Hinduism's most revered scriptures, speaks of Krishna revealing his divine form to Arjuna, showing him infinite versions of reality coexisting at once. In essence, Hindu mystics described a many-worlds theory thousands of years before Hugh Everett proposed it in quantum mechanics. But Hinduism is not alone in this belief. The Buddhist perspective on reality is equally profound. The Buddha taught that all of existence is transient, impermanent, and illusory. He compared life to a dream, fleeting and ever-changing. But if life itself is dreamlike, then what happens when we dream? In Tibetan Buddhism, there is an ancient practice called dream yoga, where monks train their minds to become conscious within dreams. to awaken inside their own illusions. They believe that through lucid dreaming, they can travel to other realms and dimensions, interact with enlightened beings, gain knowledge from alternate versions of themselves. Modern lucid dreaming experiments now confirm that people can consciously control dreams and even experience realities that feel more real than waking life. Are these simply mental constructions, or could they be glimpses into parallel dimensions? Buddhist teachings suggest that awakening within a dream is a metaphor for awakening in life. If our perception of reality is just another layer of illusion, then shifting consciousness between realities might be possible, not just in dreams, but in waking life. Jewish mysticism, known as Kabbalah, offers another striking perspective on multiple layers of existence. According to Kabbalistic teachings, reality is structured into 10 sephirot, 10 emanations of divine energy that shape different levels of existence. These levels form a cosmic hierarchy where lower realms are denser and more physical, while higher realms are pure energy and thought. Kabbalists believe that through spiritual elevation, humans can ascend these dimensions, much like modern physicists propose that higher dimensions may exist beyond our perception. One of the most fascinating ideas in Kabbalah is the Tree of Life, which represents the interconnected nature of different realities. Kabbalists teach that true wisdom comes not from logic alone, but from transcending the material world and glimpsing higher planes of consciousness. This closely mirrors the discoveries in quantum physics that suggest our perception of reality is just a fragment of something much larger and more complex. The ancient Gnostic philosophers had a radical belief that the world we see is not the ultimate reality, but a false construct. They taught that a powerful force, the demiurge, created this world as a prison for human consciousness, keeping us blind to the true, infinite realms of existence. They believed that awakening meant seeing beyond this illusion and accessing hidden realities. They spoke of gnosis, a deep mystical knowledge that allows one to transcend this world. They claim that those who seek the truth can escape the illusion and enter a higher state of being. Does this sound familiar? Modern simulation theory now suggests that our universe might be a programmed construct, much like the Gnostic belief in a false reality. If the Gnostics were correct, then parallel worlds may not just be scientific possibilities. They may be the key to breaking free from the illusion. The striking similarities between ancient wisdom and modern science cannot be ignored. Thousands of years before quantum physics, religious and mystical traditions describe reality as multidimensional, impermanent, and interactive. Hinduism's lokas parallel the idea of multiple parallel universes. Buddhist dream yoga aligns with the idea of lucid dreaming as a portal to other realms. Kabbalistic teachings mirror modern theories of higher dimensions and quantum fields. Gnostic philosophy eerily resembles the concept of simulation theory. These traditions suggest that parallel realities are not just theoretical, they are accessible through the mind. And if consciousness is the bridge between worlds, then learning to control it might be the key to shifting between realities. This is exactly what we will explore next. Can the mind act as a portal to parallel dimensions? If ancient wisdom suggests that reality is layered, then how do we access these hidden realms? Can practices like meditation, lucid dreaming, and altered states of consciousness allow us to move between different versions of reality? In the next chapter, we will explore how the brain functions like a receiver, tuning into different frequencies of existence. The Monroe Institute's experiments on out-of-body experiences, the science of lucid dreaming, and how it might connect us to alternate selves. How mystics have used consciousness as a tool to break free from the illusion. Prepare to enter the deepest secrets of consciousness and its connection to the multiverse. Consciousness as the bridge between realities. Have you ever felt like your mind was somewhere else? Like your thoughts belonged to a different version of you? A sudden intuition, a vivid dream that felt too real, a déjà vu so intense that you swore you had lived that moment before. Could these experiences be more than just tricks of the brain? Could they be glimpses into parallel realities? Versions of existence where another you is living a different timeline? Modern physics suggests that the universe is not as fixed as we believe, that multiple realities may exist at once. But if this is true, why don't we perceive them? The answer may lie in consciousness itself. Many philosophers, neuroscientists, and spiritual traditions propose that the human mind does not simply observe reality, it shapes it. Some even suggest that consciousness acts like a receiver, tuning into specific frequencies of existence. If we could alter this tuning, could we access other realities? Could we shift our perception to see beyond the veil? This is what we will explore. The idea that consciousness is the key to unlocking parallel dimensions. For centuries, science has assumed that the brain is the source of consciousness. But what if that assumption is wrong? Philosopher Henry Bergson argued that the brain is not the origin of consciousness, but merely a filter, a biological device that tunes into different states of awareness. Much like a radio picks up different stations depending on its frequency, Bergson believed that our brains tune into a specific version of reality, filtering out everything else. What if the reason we don't see parallel realities is that our consciousness is locked into one frequency? What if altered states, meditation, lucid dreaming, near-death experiences, allow us to momentarily retune to another version of reality? Recent research in neuroscience supports this idea. Brainwave studies show that different mental states, such as deep meditation, psychedelic experiences, and lucid dreams, are associated with shifts in brain frequencies. Some scientists believe that these shifts could be moments when the mind temporarily taps into an alternate version of reality. But if the brain is a receiver, how can we change the channel? Dreams have always been a mystery, but what if they are more than just subconscious thoughts? What if, in some cases, they are glimpses into other versions of reality? Lucid dreaming is the ability to become conscious inside a dream, to realize that you are dreaming and take control of the experience. But something strange happens in many lucid dreams. People report visiting unknown worlds that feel as real as waking life. Some dreamers encounter versions of themselves living completely different lives. Others describe gaining new knowledge or skills from dreams, as if another version of themselves had already learned it. This aligns with the idea that consciousness might be shifting between realities during sleep. Could lucid dreams be a portal into parallel versions of ourselves? The Tibetan Buddhist practice of dream yoga suggests that dreams are not just mental illusions. They are gateways to higher states of awareness. Advanced practitioners claim that through disciplined dreaming techniques, one can explore hidden dimensions and even communicate with other beings. If this is true, then dreaming is not just an escape, it is a tool, a way to access deeper layers of existence. One of the most intriguing scientific explorations of consciousness comes from the Monroe Institute, an organization dedicated to studying altered states of awareness. Using specialized audio technology known as hemisync, the Monroe Institute has conducted thousands of experiments on out-of-body experiences, OBEs. Participants report feeling their consciousness separate from their physical bodies, traveling to places they have never been, and even gaining knowledge from mysterious sources. Some researchers believe that OBEs could be a shift in consciousness from one reality to another, a momentary detachment from one timeline into another version of existence. One famous case involved a participant who traveled to a future version of Earth and saw technological advancements that did not yet exist. Years later, some of those exact technologies were developed. Was he accessing a parallel reality? These experiments suggest that our minds are not bound by physical reality, that consciousness has the ability to transcend space and time. Near-death experiences, NDEs, are another profound phenomenon that could hint at parallel dimensions. People who have died for several minutes and then revived often report seeing their lives replay in a nonlinear way, experiencing past, present, and future at once, visiting strange, luminous realms that feel more real than the physical world, communicating with mysterious entities, some of whom claim to be alternate versions of themselves. Dr. Raymond Moody, a pioneer in NDE research, collected thousands of cases where people described experiencing different versions of Earth, some identical to their current world, but with minor differences. Could it be that when a person briefly dies, their consciousness temporarily shifts into another reality before returning? If time, space, and perception are more fluid than we realize, then these experiences may be evidence that we are constantly moving between realities, whether we are aware of it or not. If consciousness is truly a bridge between worlds, then the biggest question is, can we train our minds to consciously move between different versions of reality? Many spiritual traditions suggest that we can. Practices such as meditation in altered states, used for centuries to transcend the illusion of reality, lucid dreaming and visualization, allowing individuals to access parallel experiences, quantum jumping techniques, used to align with different versions of oneself. Even some quantum physicists suggest that our thoughts influence the reality we experience. If this is true, then mastering the mind might be the key to unlocking new realities. This is exactly what we will explore next. The Mandela effect, shifting between realities. If consciousness is the key, then are we already shifting between different versions of reality without realizing it? In the next chapter, we will explore the Mandela effect, cases where entire groups of people remember different pasts. Could CERN and quantum experiments be altering our timeline? Do our collective thoughts create changes in reality? Prepare to uncover one of the strangest, most controversial mysteries of all time. The Mandela effect and shifting realities. Have you ever remembered something so vividly, only to discover that reality says it never happened? A movie line you swear was different, a brand name that doesn't match your memory, a childhood event that others recall differently. It's more than just forgetfulness. Millions of people across the world share these same false memories, creating one of the greatest unexplained mysteries of our time. The Mandela effect. But what if these aren't just mistakes of the mind? What if they are evidence that we are shifting between parallel realities without realizing it? What if, every so often, our consciousness moves from one version of the universe to another, bringing remnants of a past that no longer exists? Modern physics, psychology, and even secretive scientific experiments may hold the answers. Could this be proof that our reality is more fluid than we ever imagined? The term Mandela effect was coined when thousands of people around the world claimed to vividly remember that Nelson Mandela had died in prison in the 1980s. They could recall news reports, emotional tributes, and even school lessons about his death. But in our current timeline, Mandela was released from prison and became South Africa's president, living until 2013. This wasn't an isolated incident. More and more people began noticing strange discrepancies in their memories. Famous movie quotes changed. "Luke, I am your father," from Star Wars never existed. "It has always been, no, I am your father." Brand names were different. Some remember Febreze, but it's Febreze. Others swear Fruit Loops was once Fruit Loops. Historical events seemed altered. Some recall Easter Island being in a different location, or the number of victims in famous disasters being different. The Mandela effect is not just a few people misremembering things. It is millions of people from different backgrounds recalling the same wrong version of history. This has led to one of the most mind-blowing theories. Are we slipping between parallel timelines? If we assume that reality is fixed, then the Mandela effect should be impossible. But modern physics tells us otherwise. The many worlds interpretation, MWI, suggests that every time a decision is made, the universe splits into multiple versions, each playing out a different outcome. Quantum superposition shows that a particle can exist in two states at once, only collapsing into one version when observed. Could this apply to entire realities? Time is not linear. Some physicists argue that past, present, and future exist simultaneously, and that we may be shifting our awareness between different versions of history. If these theories are correct, then perhaps some people retain memories from their previous timeline after a reality shift occurs. But what could be causing these shifts? One of the most controversial theories is that scientists at CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, are unknowingly altering our reality. CERN operates the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, the world's most powerful particle accelerator. Some believe that their high-energy experiments may be interfering with the structure of space-time, causing small shifts in reality. In 2012, CERN confirmed the discovery of the Higgs boson, often called the God particle, which gives matter its mass. Some theorists claim that this moment altered reality itself, shifting us into a new version of the universe. Some researchers believe that particle collisions at near light speed could be interacting with hidden dimensions or parallel worlds. Even mainstream physicists acknowledge the possibility that we live in a multiverse, and that experiments like those at CERN may provide evidence. Could the Mandela effect be an unintended consequence of humanity's growing ability to tamper with reality itself? Another possibility is that the Mandela effect is not caused by external forces, but by our own collective consciousness. Studies in quantum mechanics suggest that observation collapses reality into a fixed state. Experiments on group intention show that focused human thought can influence random physical events. If reality is fluid, then a mass belief in an alternate history could actually rewrite it. In simpler terms, if enough people believe something was one way, does that collective thought energy reshape reality? Ancient traditions, from Hinduism to Hermeticism, have long suggested that reality is shaped by the mind. If true, then large groups of people believing in an alternative past may be creating subtle shifts in the timeline itself. If the Mandela effect is evidence of reality shifts, then we must ask, what is reality really? Are we constantly moving through different versions of the universe without realizing it? Is time flexible, allowing for multiple versions of the past to coexist? Are scientific experiments, like those at CERN, unknowingly pushing us into alternate timelines? Or is our collective consciousness influencing reality in ways we don't yet understand? If we are shifting between different realities all the time, then what does this mean for our choices, our fate, and our ability to control the version of reality we live in? This leads us to the next chapter: sacred places and reality portals. If shifting realities is possible, then are there specific places on Earth where these shifts occur more frequently? Many ancient cultures believed that certain locations, the Bermuda Triangle, the Great Pyramids, Mount Shasta, were portals to other dimensions. In the next chapter, we will explore the mystery of Earth's energy vortexes and how they may interact with parallel realities. Ancient civilizations and their understanding of interdimensional portals. Why some people experience time slips and disappearances in specific locations. Prepare to uncover the hidden gateways to alternate realities. Sacred places and reality portals. Have you ever been to a place that felt different? A location where time seemed to move strangely, where the air carried an unexplainable energy, where reality itself felt thinner, as if something was waiting just beyond the veil. Throughout history, ancient civilizations have spoken of sacred sites, energy vortexes, and mystical locations where the laws of reality seem to bend. From the Great Pyramids of Egypt to Mount Shasta, from the Bermuda Triangle to Stonehenge, these places have long been believed to be gateways between worlds, portals where one can step beyond ordinary perception and into alternate dimensions. But could there be truth to these legends? Modern science is now beginning to confirm that certain places on Earth exhibit strange electromagnetic anomalies, distortions in time, and unexplained disappearances. Could these sites be linked to shifting realities, parallel universes, or even extraterrestrial contact? Let's explore the most mysterious locations on Earth, where science, mysticism, and quantum reality collide. Few places on Earth have generated as much mystery as the Bermuda Triangle, a vast region in the Atlantic Ocean where ships and planes have vanished without a trace. In 1945, Flight 19, a squadron of 5 U.S. Navy bombers, disappeared mid-flight. No wreckage was ever found. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, a massive naval vessel carrying 306 men vanished with no distress signals, one of the greatest mysteries in maritime history. Pilots who have survived encounters in the Triangle report sudden time distortions, strange fogs, and compass malfunctions. Scientists have attempted to explain these anomalies with theories of magnetic fields, underwater methane gas eruptions, or human error. But some researchers suggest something far stranger: electromagnetic vortex theory. Some believe the Bermuda Triangle is home to an energy vortex that distorts space-time, momentarily shifting objects into another dimension. Parallel universe hypothesis. Certain physicists suggest that the triangle may be a natural gateway where matter occasionally slips between different timelines. Alien contact theory. Some researchers speculate that the region could be an entry point for extraterrestrial activity, explaining the sudden disappearances of entire aircraft and ships. Whether natural or supernatural, the Bermuda Triangle remains one of the strongest cases for an earthly portal to parallel dimensions. In the forests of Northern California, Mount Shasta stands as one of the world's most mystically revered mountains. Native American legends describe it as a place where spirits and celestial beings walk among us. But even more bizarre are the modern reports. Hikers have reported suddenly vanishing for hours or even days, returning confused with memories of strange landscapes and glowing cities. UFO sightings near the mountain are among the highest in the world. Spiritual seekers claim to experience visions, spontaneous enlightenment, and encounters with higher dimensional beings. Some believe that inside Mount Shasta lies a hidden civilization, possibly remnants of the lost city of Lemuria, an ancient advanced society said to have mastered interdimensional travel. From a scientific perspective, geologists acknowledge that the mountain sits on powerful fault lines and emits unusual electromagnetic activity, something that could explain the strange experiences reported by thousands. But is this merely an illusion of the mind, or could Mount Shasta truly be a doorway to another realm? The Great Pyramids of Giza have stood for over 4,500 years, defying time and explanation. But what if they are more than just tombs? Some researchers suggest that the precise alignment of the pyramids with Orion's belt indicates a cosmic purpose beyond human understanding. Ancient texts describe the pyramids as resonance chambers, structures designed to channel energy from the Earth's electromagnetic field. People who meditate inside the pyramids often report profound mystical experiences, time distortions, and visions of otherworldly beings. Could the pyramids have been designed as stargates, portals connecting Earth with higher dimensions? The electromagnetic anomalies inside the pyramids suggest that they may have been used for far more than burial rituals. Even Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest minds in history, was fascinated by the pyramids, believing they held the secrets to harnessing free energy. If the pyramids truly interact with electromagnetic fields, could they have been designed as tools to manipulate reality itself? Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, and other megalithic sites around the world were built with a level of precision that challenges our understanding of ancient technology. But what if these sites were not just temples, but portals? Stonehenge is aligned with celestial events in ways that suggest it may have been used for timekeeping or time travel. Machu Picchu sits on one of the most powerful electromagnetic grids on Earth, leading some to believe it was a site for spiritual ascension or dimensional travel. Many ancient Incan and Mayan structures contain mysterious false doors, stone doorways leading nowhere. But legends claim that these doors were not false at all. They were once gateways to other realms, only accessible to those who knew how to activate them. Could ancient civilizations have built these sites with the knowledge of how to move between realities? Beyond known sacred sites, there are countless reports of ordinary people experiencing time slips, sudden jumps into another reality. In 1979, two British couples drove into a hotel in rural France, only to wake up the next morning and find the hotel had never existed. In 1954, a man arrived at Tokyo Airport with a passport from a country that did not exist. He vanished without a trace. In 1996, a pilot flying over Scotland reported flying into a tunnel of clouds and emerging 80 miles from his original location, with no explanation. Are these just glitches of perception, or are they evidence that reality itself can shift unexpectedly? If sacred sites truly have electromagnetic anomalies and unexplained occurrences, then what does this mean? Could certain places on Earth act as natural gateways between dimensions? Did ancient civilizations intentionally construct temples and monuments in locations where reality is thinner? Do time slips and disappearances suggest that parallel worlds are closer than we think? If these places are energy hubs interacting with consciousness and space-time, then learning how to harness their power may allow us to intentionally shift between realities. This is exactly what we will explore next: how to access your parallel selves. If reality is fluid and consciousness is the key, then how can we intentionally shift between different versions of ourselves? In the next chapter, we will uncover lucid dreaming and meditation techniques for connecting with alternate realities, quantum jumping and vibrational tuning, methods for aligning with different versions of yourself, how belief and perception create the reality you experience. Prepare to unlock the ultimate knowledge of self-transformation and reality shifting. How to access your parallel selves. Have you ever felt like another version of you already knows the answers you seek? A version of you that is more confident, more successful, more enlightened. A version that has already overcome the struggles you now face, living in a reality where things worked out perfectly. What if you could connect with that version of yourself? What if, instead of wishing for a different life, you could shift into it? Ancient wisdom and modern quantum theories suggest that reality is not fixed. It is fluid, shaped by consciousness. If infinite versions of you exist across parallel dimensions, then learning to tune your mind may allow you to access their knowledge, their wisdom, and even their reality. The key lies in understanding that your thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions create the version of reality you experience. And by mastering these, you may be able to shift into the timeline you desire. Modern neuroscience suggests that our brains do not passively observe reality. They construct it. Your perception of the world is a neurological interpretation, not an absolute truth. Your thoughts influence how your brain filters and interprets information. Your focus determines what version of reality you experience. This aligns with quantum physics, where observation collapses reality into a fixed state. Some scientists suggest that our consciousness plays an active role in shaping the timeline we exist in. If this is true, then your ability to shift realities may depend on one thing: mastering the state of your own consciousness. How can we do this? Through techniques that alter brainwave activity, shift perception, and tune consciousness to new frequencies. Lucid dreaming is one of the most powerful tools for accessing parallel versions of yourself. In a lucid dream, you become fully conscious inside the dream world. You can ask questions, interact with dream characters, and explore new realities. Some dreamers report experiencing memories, knowledge, and even skills from lives they have never consciously lived. How to use lucid dreaming to access parallel selves. Set an intention before sleep. Before going to bed, clearly state, "Tonight I will meet a version of myself from another reality." Perform reality checks throughout the day. Ask yourself, am I dreaming? Try pushing your finger through your palm or looking at a clock twice. Text often changes in dreams. Use wake-induced lucid dreaming, wild. As you fall asleep, keep your mind awake while your body sleeps. This method increases the chances of conscious dream entry. Engage with your alternate self. Once lucid, ask for guidance. Show me another version of myself who has already mastered what I seek. Observe what they say, how they act, and what they know. Lucid dreams can feel as real as waking life. Some who practice this technique claim to have connected with versions of themselves that have already achieved their goals. But dreaming is only one path. Conscious reality shifting is possible too. The concept of quantum jumping suggests that by altering your thoughts and emotions, you shift into a version of reality where your desired self already exists. This aligns with the many worlds interpretation of quantum physics, which states that every decision creates a new branch of reality. If every possibility exists, then the key to experiencing it is aligning yourself with that version of reality. How to perform a quantum jump. Visualize your desired self. Close your eyes and imagine a version of you that has already achieved your goal. How do they think? How do they feel? What actions do they take? Use the 2-cup method. Write your current reality on 1 cup of water and your desired reality on another. Pour water from the first cup into the second and drink, symbolizing the shift in consciousness. Step into the reality emotionally. Feel gratitude and certainty, as if you already exist in the reality you seek. Reinforce the shift daily. Every day, act as if you are already that version of yourself. The more your beliefs, emotions, and actions align, the faster reality conforms to your new state. Many who practice this technique report unexpected synchronicities, opportunities, and changes aligning with their desired reality. Ancient spiritual traditions have long taught that meditation can shift consciousness into higher states of reality. Brainwave studies show that deep meditation alters neural activity, increasing access to subconscious knowledge. Mystics claim that by raising one's vibration, it is possible to access higher dimensions of existence. Scientific experiments confirm that focused thought can influence physical reality. How to meditate for reality shifting. How to meditate for reality shifting. Relax into a deep state. Use breathing techniques to enter theta or delta brainwave states where the subconscious mind is most receptive. Visualize the reality you wish to enter. Imagine yourself stepping through a door into your desired life. Affirm your shift. Silently repeat, I am shifting into the best version of myself. Surrender and trust the process. The key is not forcing the shift, but allowing it. The more relaxed and certain you are, the more easily reality adjusts. Regular practice of these techniques has been linked to heightened intuition, increased synchronicities, and radical life transformations. One of the most important truths in shifting reality is this: your beliefs dictate the reality you experience. If you believe you are stuck, you will continue to see a reality that confirms it. If you believe you can shift, reality will provide experiences that prove it possible. If you adopt the mindset of your best self, you will naturally align with that reality. This aligns with both ancient wisdom and modern psychology. Buddhism teaches that perception shapes the world we see. Quantum physics suggests that observation collapses reality into a chosen state. The placebo effect proves that belief alone can change physical reality. In other words, what you expect, you create. If parallel versions of you already exist, then stepping into them is a matter of changing your perception, actions, and state of consciousness. This leads us to the final, most important question. If reality is this fluid, then who are you really? We've explored the nature of reality, quantum physics, ancient wisdom, and consciousness itself. But now the final question remains. If reality is an illusion shaped by the mind, then who or what are you beyond the illusion? In the final chapter, we will explore what reality shifting means for free will and destiny, the nature of self. If infinite versions of you exist, which one is the real you? Final philosophical reflections on existence and the universe itself. Prepare for the ultimate realization of who you are beyond space, time, and illusion. The power of perception over reality. Have you ever questioned if the version of yourself you are living now is the only true you? If infinite versions of you exist, each experiencing a different outcome, a different path, then which one is the real you? Or is the real you something beyond all these versions? We have explored the nature of reality, from quantum physics to ancient wisdom, from the illusion of time to the possibility of parallel worlds. Science, mysticism, and philosophy all point to one profound truth. Reality is not something fixed. It is something created. But created by whom? And for what purpose? The answer may lie not in the universe itself, but in consciousness. If reality is fluid, shifting, and shaped by perception, then what does this say about you? The Buddha taught that the self is an illusion, that we are not individual beings but a flow of consciousness moving through existence. The Hindu Upanishads suggest that all souls are fragments of one ultimate reality, Brahman, the infinite cosmic self. The Gnostics believed that the material world was a prison of illusion, and that only awakening from it would reveal our true nature. Even modern physics now questions whether space, time, and matter are merely constructs of the mind, a projection rather than an ultimate truth. If everything we perceive is a construct, then who is the observer? Perhaps the real question is not which version of you is the real one, but rather, who is the one experiencing all these versions? The final, most important realization is this: you are not just moving through reality, reality is moving through you. If perception shapes reality, then the choices you make, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you cultivate determine which version of the universe you exist in. If you believe reality is rigid, you will experience limitation. If you believe in infinite possibilities, the universe will reflect that back to you. If you focus on fear and scarcity, you will find a world filled with fear and scarcity. If you focus on growth and expansion, reality will align with that expansion. This is not just spiritual philosophy. Even quantum mechanics supports the idea that consciousness influences reality at a fundamental level, which means you are more powerful than you have ever been told. The reality you experience is not happening to you. It is responding to you. If reality is a dream, a simulation, a shifting construct shaped by mind and perception, then who are you really? Are you just a character inside this dream? Or are you the dreamer? This is the greatest realization of all. You are not just a person inside reality. You are the consciousness experiencing reality. You are not bound to one timeline, one identity, or one fate. You are the awareness that moves through all of it. And if that is true, and then perhaps the real question is not what reality is, but what you choose to make it. This is where the journey truly begins. Will you continue to accept reality as it is presented to you? Or will you begin to shape it consciously, aligning with the highest version of yourself? Will you see yourself as a passive observer? Or will you awaken as the creator of your experience? The choice has always been yours. This is not the end of the journey. This is the beginning. You are shifting realities all the time. The only question is, which one will you choose next? The end or just the beginning?